What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously here once again. I am here to do my official New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 31 2021 predictions. Now, this year's G1 Climax tournament starts this Saturday morning live on NewJapanWorld.com and all culminates on Thursday, October 21st, where the winner of this year's G1 Climax tournament will challenge the undisputed IWGP champion at the granddaddy of them all, Wrestle Kingdom 16 from the Tokyo Dome on January 4th or on January the 5th. Now, this year's field for the G1 this year is pretty damn solid, even though my boy Switchblade Jay White's not in it, and neither is the real undisputed IWGP champion, the Commonwealth Kingpin Will Ospreay. But 20 of the most fantastic wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling fighting in this tournament for one opportunity, a shot at the undisputed championship at Wrestle Kingdom 16. So I am extremely excited to do my G1 Climax predictions for you guys this year. This could be a long video because I'll be breaking down the blocks, the competitors, my initial thoughts, my Dangerously Fave 5, and my official finals predictions all in this one video. So sit back and relax, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, this is the first video of a combined 3 video day on the channel today, guys. So I hope you guys are able to watch this video and all the fantastic videos we got on deck on the channel in the month of September this year. And as always, sure to support the channel as always, guys, by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, and commenting your picks and your opinions in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel today, guys, as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, big to go. And if you're a huge fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling like myself, and you're ready for this year's G1 Climax tournament, welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I'm JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is now officially 900 subscribers strong, and that's fucking two. Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much for hitting the 900 subscriber milestone on my channel. I cannot say thank you enough, guys. But other than that, let's get right into these G1 Climax predictions. Let's begin in A block, starting off with the competitors. First, he is representing the Cutthroat Darkness era of and he is also representing Bullet Club's House of Torture, making his 8th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about.
You make me feel so good.
That was amazing! He is the Tokyo Pimp's Yujiro Takahashi. Next, he is representing Chaos, and he is 1/3 of the reigning Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions and a former multiple-time Never Openweight champion as well, and he is one tough sumbitch, making his 9th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii, or Golem. Next, he is representing Suzuki Gun Ichiban, and he is 1/2 of the reigning 3-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions with his partner Lord Taichi. He is 1/2 of the Dangerous Techers, and he is, in my opinion, the best technical wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling, making his 5th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Zack Saber Jr. Next, he is representing Chaos, and he is now the new two-time KOPW 2021 trophy holder, making his 16th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is the Sublime Master Thief, Yano Toru. Next, he is representing the Cutthroat Darkness era of... And he is one half of the Guerrillas of Destiny, making his G1 Climax debut, and he is the Silverback Tongaloa. Next, he is also representing the Cutthroat Darkness era of... And he is the former Never Openweight champion, making his third G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Kenta. Next, he is representing the United Empire, and he is making his G1 Climax debut here, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Dominator, the Great Okan. Next, he is the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, and he is the former IWGP Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He is a two-time G1 Climax winner, making his 12th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. Ooh, Naito! He is Tetsuya Naito. Next, he is also representing Los Ingobernables de Japón, and he is the reigning interim undisputed IWGP champion, the former two-time Never Openweight champion. He is making his third G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is the Rampaging Dragon, Shingo Takagi. And finally, you have the only man in New Japan Pro Wrestling history to win the New Japan Cup, Best of Super Juniors, and he is the reigning and defending G1 Climax champion, the man that held both the IWGP Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and he was the very first undisputed IWGP champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, making his 7th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about, and he is Kane Gaming's favorite wrestler. Ibushi Kota. Now, my initial thoughts on this year's A block in the 31st G1 Climax tournament this year. You talk about a stacked block. A block this year is stacked from head to toe. I mean, look at the names that we got in this A block. I mean, you got Shingo Takagi, you got Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito, Kenta, Tomohiro Ishii, Zack Saber Jr., Tonga Loa, the Great Okan. You have so many potential Match of the Year candidates in this A block for sure. And I can see maybe 3, 4, or maybe 5 guys that can actually win this block this year. Now on to my Dangerously Fade 5 to see who I am picking to win A block this year. Starting off at number 5 with Zack Saber Jr. I think Zack Saber Jr. could have a pretty damn good G1 this year, and I think he could be a potential spoiler for 3 or 4 of these guys from making it to the finals. But Zack Saber Jr. always brings his best in these tournaments, and I have a good feeling he'll have a pretty good G1. So at number 5, I have Zack Saber Jr. At number 4, I have the KOPW 2021 trophy holder, Yano Teru. Now, Yano always finds a way to get big wins here at the G1. I mean, he's the man that ended Jon Moxley's undefeated streak in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it was either last year or the year before. But Yano can get victories in this tournament. I mean, he'll do whatever it takes to win. We've seen him do some of the wildest stuff, like duct taping his opponents to the outside of the ring and winning by countout. That's what Yano does, and I have a funny feeling he's going to have a pretty damn good G1 this year with all the tricks. So at number 4, I have Yano Teru. At number 3, I have the reigning G1 Climax champion, Kota Ibushi. Now, yes, there is a chance that Kota Ibushi could make his 4th consecutive G1 Climax finals this year and possibly win his 3rd consecutive G1 Climax tournament. But I think this year it's going to be a complete impossibility. But I have been wrong before, folks. But Kota Ibushi is going to have a good year in the G1. I don't think he'll make it to the finals this year, but he'll have a pretty good showing after dealing with pneumonia for 2 months. So at number 3, I have the reigning G1 Climax champion, Kota Ibushi. At number 2, I have the interim undisputed IWGP champion, the Dragon Shingo Takagi. Now, I know a lot of people are actually thinking Shingo Takagi can be the first champion in 20 years to win the G1 Climax as the reigning champion, but I don't think he's going to win this. I think he'll have maybe 2, possibly 3 losses in this tournament, and he's going to have a lot of challengers coming after him after this G1 if any of them beat him. But at number 2, I have the Dragon Shingo Takagi. And now my number 1 pick to win A block this year is Tetsuya Naito. Now, a lot of people were thinking, why are you picking Naito? I think Naito deserves a shot at the G1 Climax tournament this year because it has been 4 years since his last G1 Climax championship when he defeated Kenny Omega in 2017. So to say that Naito is overdue is an understatement, folks. And what a better guy to go after Shingo Takagi than the leader of LIJ in Tetsuya Naito. So coming from me, my number 1 pick to win A block this year is the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito. And now on to B block, starting off with the competitors. First, he is representing the cutthroat darkness era of
Bullet Club.
And he is a former KOPW 2021 trophy holder, and he is the reigning NWA Texas Heavyweight Champion. Making his debut in the G1 Climax tournament this year, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Bullet Club's one and true crown jewel, Chase Owens. Next, he is representing Chaos, and he is the other half of the reigning never openweight 6-man tag team champions, making his 5th G1 Climax appearance. He is Headhunter Yoshi Hoshi or Tacos. Next, he is representing Suzuki Gun, Ichiban, and he is the other half of the reigning 3-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions with his partner Zack Saber Jr., the other half of Dangerous Tekkers, and he is a former 2-time Never Openweight Champion. Making his 3rd G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Lord Taichi. Next, he is also representing the cutthroat darkness era of and he is the other half of the Gorillas of Destiny, making his fourth G1 Climax appearance. He is the good bad guy, the ace killer, Tamatonga. Next, he is representing Los Ingobernables de Japón, and he was the man that was in the finals of last year's G1 Climax tournament, making his sixth G1 Climax appearance. And if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Cold Skull Sonata. Next, he is representing Chaos, and he is the other half of the reigning Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions. He won this tournament all the way back in 2008, and he is making his 14th G1 Climax appearance. And if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is the fierce warrior Hiroki Goto. Next, he is representing the United Empire, and he is making his third G1 Climax appearance, the former Never Openweight champ and the former Ring of Honor television champion. He is the Hatchet, Jeff Cobb. Next, he is also representing the cutthroat darkness era of and he is also representing Bullet Club's House of Torture, and he is the former IWGP Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He'll be accompanied by his spoiler Dick Togo, making his sixth G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is King of Darkness, evil, because this is evil. Everything is evil. It's real and is just too sweet. Next, he is the leader of Chaos, and he is the former 5-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time G1 Climax winner himself, and he is a lot of people's favorite to win this year's tournament, making his 10th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, you'll know who I'm talking about. He is Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. And finally, you have the man that has won 3 of these G1 Climax tournaments in his legendary career, and he is also the reigning IWGP United States Champion, and the only man in New Japan Pro Wrestling history to hold that IWGP Heavyweight Championship 8 times, making his 20th G1 Climax appearance, and if you know his music, folks, you'll know who I'm talking about. is Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, my thoughts on B block this year in the G1 Climax tournament. It's a pretty solid block. Not as big as A block is for me, but B block is pretty damn solid. I mean, you got Okada and Tanahashi in the same block, so you know we're going to get that possible matchup between those two rivals. We're possibly going to see Jeff Cobb and Evil against each other. Tama Tonga versus Evil, which could be a sleeper pick. You got Jeff Cobb and Lord Taichi and Sonata, last year's finalist. Hiroki Goto with all that experience. And we all know the G in G1 does stand for Goto. But coming from me, B block is a pretty solid block, but is not as good as A block in my opinion. Now on to my dangerously fave 5 picks for B block to see who I think will win B block this year. Starting off at number 5 with Cold Skull Sonata. Now I know last year Sonata fell short in winning the G1 Climax last year to Kota Ibushi, but I think Sonata will have a good G1. But do I think he can make it to the finals for a second consecutive year? I don't think so. At number 5, I have Sonata. At number 4, I have the ace killer, Tama Tonga. Now, don't be surprised that Tama Tonga has a pretty damn good year in the G1, even though he's more of a tag team wrestler. Tama Tonga as a single star could be really entertaining, and I think Tama Tonga could be a dark horse and a sleeper to win the G1. So at number 4, I have the good bad guy, Tama Tonga. At number 3, and a lot of people would be shocked about this, I got Yoshi Hoshi. I think Yoshi Hoshi could have a pretty significant G1 this year, even though he has had years of not having great G1s. I think this year is going to be his year, and the fact that he has gone through injuries and things like that, and then coming back in 2020, winning his first title, the Never Six-Man Tag Team Championship, he is definitely hot right now, and I would not be surprised Yoshi Hoshi has a pretty stellar G1. So at number 3, I have Yoshi Hoshi. At number 2, I have the Hatchet Jeff Cobb. And I think Jeff Cobb is going to have a monster G1 this year. After his victory over Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Grand Slam in the MetLife Dome, I think Cobb is going to have a lot of confidence. And a guy who hadn't won a one-on-one match in New Japan Pro Wrestling in over 6 months, and finally beating the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada in the MetLife Dome, Jeff Cobb is going to have a monster G1, and I wouldn't be surprised he's in the race all the way up to the end. So at number 2, I have Jeff Cobb. And now my number 1 pick to win B block this year, everybody's favorite to win this year, Kazuchika Okada. I think Okada is going to make it to the finals this year, even though I want to see guys like Switchblade Jay White get opportunities. Okada's going to get this. He's going to win this block. I just cannot see anybody else winning this block other than him, possibly Tanahashi, possibly Jeff Cobb. But Okada is going to win this block. So coming from me, my number 1 pick to win B block this year to make it to the G1 Climax 31 finals is Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. And now on to my finals predictions to see who will win this year's G1 Climax Tournament Final and challenge the undisputed IWGP Champion at Wrestle Kingdom 16 in the Tokyo Dome. Between two faction leaders, the leader of LIJ, Tetsuya Naito, looking to win his 3rd G1 in his career and his first since 2017, facing the B block winner, the leader of Chaos, Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, looking to win his 3rd G1 and his first since 2014. Now, I think this is going to be the finals because it just seems like the right finals to have. Naito and Okada. You know the history between these two. We've seen them fight at Wrestle Kingdom, but I think this would be a perfect finals to see who will get a shot at the undisputed title at Wrestle Kingdom 16. So, coming from me, in the finals of the 31st G1 Climax Tournament to see who will be who will hold the briefcase for a shot at the undisputed title at Wrestle Kingdom. This one's tough. I want to pick Naito because he hasn't won it in 4 years, but the consensus, a lot of wrestling fans I've talked to when it comes to the G1, saying that Okada's going to win this. So you know what? I'm just going to go with the consensus. I am going to go with Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to win his 3rd G1 Climax Championship in his legendary career and defeat Tetsuya Naito in an absolute finals banger. And those are my New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 31 2021 predictions. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Comment below. Who do you see winning this year's G1 Climax 31 tournament? I have Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada defeating Tetsuya Naito, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you think makes it to the finals? Do you see any dark horses making a deep run into this tournament? And let me know what is your potential finals matchup and your potential G1 Climax winner. And as always, let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course reply right back to you because comments and your opinions are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching my official G1 Climax 31 predictions video today. Now, before you guys go, as always, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, guys, can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button to become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. We are now on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I cannot say thank you enough, guys, for getting the channel to 900 subscribers, and now the road to 1,000 begins, and we can only go up from here. But YouTube still tells me that nearly 68% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet. So let's change that, folks. If you're a fan of professional wrestling when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and All Elite Wrestling, and you're a fan of professional sports when it comes to the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, college basketball, super kick that subscribe button. It's free, folks, and you can become part of this bigger, dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys later today for my Week 3 college football predictions. Later days, guys, and peace.